What is happening, y'all? We are here with another season 1 video. In this video, as promised, I will be introducing you guys to Clash Domain. Just before we do that, I will say it again. I have made a Discord channel. You can join there. We will do giveaways. I'll put the Discord channel link in the comments so you can join it if you want. Now, and before we go through the information on Clash Domain, I will say I'm making this video on the Clash Domain, but there will also be a text part that I have made about this. It's a Google Doc. I will also share the link in the description. So if you like the text part, if you don't like the videos, watching the videos, then you can just go click the link. You will see that. Now there will be a little bit, that is not a script. That is just some notes on this. I won't be covering everything that I have done in those notes. I probably miss out something. I'll probably add some more stuff in the video than that. So that's up to you. So just before we go, now this is going to be a very long video because the content in this is just extensive. There are a lot of stuff going on in here. So I'll try to explain it as good as possible. But again, this, I have tried to study it as much as I can. There will be 4 main sections in this video. Okay, so we will just go through very basic information about all this stuff. I expect people to know this, but if you do not know, you can just go through all of the video. Now I will also add the chapters, so if you are struggling with certain parts, you can just skip to the certain chapter and just go and watch that one. Okay, so let's get started. The map. Now, first of all, we will just go through the map. How is the map? So now, unfortunately, we cannot zoom in and zoom out on this map, so we'll have to work out a way with this one. This is an interactive map. If I click here, I will move here, this here, this here. So this is a hexagon map. You can see there are 6 guilds on each corners. Now there in this map, you can see there are a couple of things. So these are this is made up of smaller grids. Now there are different colors in here. These shiny colors, they will show the guilds occupied these grids. So this guild occupied those grids. But mainly there are 2 types of grids. Okay, so there are occupiable grids, the ones you can occupy, and there are grids that you cannot occupy. So you can see these green ones, like where my cursor is right here. These green ones are actually mountains. So you cannot cross them, you cannot occupy them. They're just there to block you, okay? And then there is these dark brown colors, like I can see where my cursor is. These ones you can occupy. In these grids, you can see a lot of other stuff. You can either the grid is empty, or you can see some buildings or monsters. Could be anything. Okay, and then you see this third type, which is the grayish color. These are actually, let me show you here. These are these thorn barriers. This basically will stop you from moving across, but as soon as you capture this surrounding fortress, they will disappear. But I don't know at the moment if you can occupy them, or they will just, I don't know what happens with them. So yep, that's basically the overlay of the map. Now the next thing is the buildings. So you can see so far we have expanded this much. There are 5 different types of building. Okay, so now some of them are not actually building, but I'm grouping them here. So for example, this one, we go here. This one is an empty grid. Even though there is nothing, if you occupy this grid, you will get 100 points per round. Okay, so you cannot increase these points with the blessing. So we will be talking about the blessing here again. But just because there is no synergy or anything, these are the empty grids. They will always have 3 defenders. Anywhere you find these empty grids, anywhere on the map, they will always have 3 defenders. These are pretty basic. They're all 5 stars. I don't reckon they will be very strong. So as long as you have a decent team, um, they should be able to sweep through all of this. You only need one good team to defeat all these three. We'll be talking about the battle later on, but basically this is empty grid. It's called wilderness here, but we'll just call it empty grid. It has 3 defenders. Anywhere on the map they will have 3 defenders. The next one is a monster grid. So these ones you can see with the monster icon, these are monster grids. If you click on them, they have 8 monsters in here. Now these monsters are a little bit different, probably a little bit stronger. Now I will tell you, the game doesn't tell you here, but these monsters actually have a power of around, okay, don't quote me on this, it's around going to be 12,000k. Okay, so I will show you guys the actual report here. I can show you this one. You can see these are all level 11 stars and level 160, and they have 12,000k. So that's something, if you guys want to put a reference point, you know, if there's a 12,000k, you don't want to send a team with 4,000k power, because you will basically lose against it. But anyways, that's just something that was not mentioned in here. Now this is a monster grid. How many defenders or how many monsters are on this grid depends on where they are. Now I did forget to mention this. The whole map has, you can sort of see here, there are 4 layers in this map. Now I'm calling them layers. It's not basically in the game, it's not written in the game, but you can see here where my cursor is. This is kind of like layer 1. Then you go a little bit inside, then you get layer 2. Then you go a little bit more inside, you get layer 3, and then in the center, I'm calling this layer 4. You can see in the map, this is layer 1. This is just the outermost one. Then after these mountains, you get the layer 2. After the tones, you get the layer 4, and then layer 5, which is the center. Now I am layering them because they have this fortress. You can't access this second layer until you get this fortress. This fortress unlocks at round 4. Then you can't access the layer 3 unless you have this fortress and remove these stones. Then you can't access the inner layer unless you have the inner fortresses. We'll be talking about the rounds and the fortresses in a bit, but that's just to keep in mind that there are kind of like 4 layers in the whole map. Now I was working on the monster. So monsters, how many monsters are there on the grid depends on in which layer they are. So for example, this monster grid is in the outermost layer, so the first layer, so it has 8 defenders. So there are, there are 8 of them, so you need at least, okay, if you know that your teams are going to win, you need at least 3 good teams against these guys to beat them. Now why 3? It will come up in a bit, but just remember that there are 3. You need at least 3. Now, if we find a monster grid on the layer 2, it will have 12. So you will need at least 4 teams. And then in layer 3, they will have 16. So you need at least 6 teams. Okay, so it goes in multiples of 3, but we will talk about it in a bit. So that was for the monster grid. The next one is a camp. This one is actually called an outpost. Let me go on this one. This one is actually called an outpost, but we are telling that we are calling it a camp because there is another building which is also called outpost. They don't look the same. Another thing I forgot to mention, there are a lot of stuff to miss, So the grids actually will give you 100 points per round. Okay, I talked about this, but they won't be increasing by blessing because they do not have synergy. The next one is monsters. Monsters will give you a first occupation point. So if you beat these monsters, you will get a 900 points for your guild, not a personal point. Okay, so this is for guild points, so 900 points, and then after you occupy them, they will become an empty grid, which will give you 100 points per round. Now the next one are these camps. Now these camps, you can already see that they have a synergy point. Now this synergy, you can actually so for example, this one has a ethereal sign. So if you have a blessing of ethereal, so as you can see here, we have an ethereal blessing activated. What it does is it doubles the yield. So for example, this camp is giving 300, but after the blessing it will give us 600, so it will increase by another 100%. And also the synergy, if for this battle, if for this grid, if you send an ethereal team against this grid, they get a small boost. Now I don't know how much is that boost. It just says they gives a little additional buffs, but I don't know what those buffs are. Okay, so it's just that you get 300 points per round. If you have the blessing, you get it doubled. Yeah, they always, and one more thing, they always have defenders. Okay, they always, anywhere on the map, these camps, not these outposts. Okay, these are the outposts we will be talking about. The camps, anywhere on the map, you'll find them. They will have defenders, and you need at least 3 good teams to beat them. Now the next building is these outposts. They will give you 500 points per round. They also have a synergy, so if you have the blessing, it will be doubled. And they will also get a buff if you send a Glorian in this particular one. There will also be other ones like Mystifiers, Ethereals, but they will give you all those, and they have 16. You can only find this outpost in the 3rd layer and the 4th layer. So they will have 16 defenders and 16 defenders. So anywhere they have 16 defenders. Now the next one is, as I said, 16 defenders. You need at least 7 teams to beat them all. 7 good teams. The next one are fortresses. Now fortresses are the ones that give the most points. There are different types of fortresses. Okay, so if we click this one, it will kind of show you there is an outer fortress, there is a middle fortress, there is inner fortress, and central fortress. Now in the text part that I will share in the description, it will have a map. I marked where are the outer ones, where are the inner ones, but I'm very bad with video editing, so I'm not trying to do anything stupid here. Basically, the outer ones are here on this line. One here, one here, one here, inner here. There are 6 of them, the outer ones. And then you kind of move like the inner ones. These are the middle ones, sorry. These are the middle ones here. There are 6 of them again. One here, one here, one here, here, and here, and here. And then you move to the inner ones. This one is middle one, this one is inner one. They all give the same 1000 points, but they have different numbers of defenders. So for example, this one has 25 defenders, this one has 40 defenders, and this one has 70 defenders. They all will give 1000 per round. They also have the synergy, so you can double the points that you can gain from them. But yep, there is only 3 of these inner ones. So there is only 3. There is 6 middle ones, and there is 6 outer ones. And then in the center you have the bigger fortress. It's called the central fortress, I believe. Yep, it's called central fortress. It has 80 defenders, and then it gives you 2000 per round. It also has a synergy, which for us is Valianters. So if we have a Valianters blessing, we can double it to 4000. Now there will also be, so you can see a lock sign on this fortress. They will be open after a certain round. So the outer one opens at round 4. The middle ones open in round 10. Inner ones open at round 16, and the central fortress at round 21. Okay, so that's pretty much done with the first part of the video. Okay, so these are what the basics were about the map, how to navigate and everything. The next thing is I'm going to be talking about the rounds, how the round works. So I'm not going to go through, but if you go here in the event schedule, you can see here that in this season, in season 1, there will be 4 clash domains. So a season goes for 2 months, so 4 clash domain makes 2 weeks for each clash domain round, for each clash domain. Okay, and then if there is 4, then 2 weeks, 14 days, and the first day of each clash domain is a matchmaking or preparing phase or preparing day, where you will get matched with 5 other guilds, and you will enter a room with 6 guilds. Okay, now after the first day, the round 1 begins on second day. Now we have remaining 13 days, and so there will be 26 rounds. So which means that there will be 2 rounds each day, and in each round there are 2 phases. Okay, so if we go here, This is the preparation which I was talking about. This is the first day. The second day here starts. This is R1, R1, R2, R2. This is the first day. Okay, this is the whole first day. So round one. So every round has two phases: the action phase and settlement phase. The action phase is pretty long. It's 11 hours and 30 minutes. The settlement phase is 30 minutes only. Action round, you can do stuff. You can send your teams wherever you want. You can strategize. Your guild leader, captain, and general can manage around people's teams, and strategize and everything. But that's all in the action round you can do. Okay. What else you can do is, for example, if there was another guild right here and they were attacking our grid here, we can also send a defender team here to defend our grid. That's also what we can do. In the settlement, you can't do anything. This is what happens after what you have done in action phase. So after you send your teams and everything, in settlement, there will be an automatic battle. You will get the report after on. So for example, like this, in round 3, I have fought 3 teams. So I can get this report, but you can't view it in live, happening. So you will only get the report of it, and then you can view the video of it here. And that's for the settlement phase. After settlement finishes, so you can see now we are in the action phase. So we can send our teams into all the areas we can. After the action phase is finished, we get a settlement phase. These icons here will be like two swords fighting each other. And then after settlement ends, the round ends and you get these loots. So if you only participated, you will get this reward. So for each team, I guess you get like 1 of these and 6 of the something like this. You get some of these, like 2 of these. But if you send 6 teams, you will get these rewards. Okay, so always send your 6 teams. And then if you did take part into a battle, like here you can see that in round 2 I didn't take part, round 1 I didn't take part, in round 3 I'm taking part. So for these 3 battles I will get extra rewards. You will get extra rewards which will appear here. Okay, so that's pretty much done with the rounds. Okay, now the next thing I'll be talking about are these stuffs. Okay, we will cover all these stuffs. We will start with rewards. When we click on these rewards, it's pretty self-explanatory, but if you are confused by this, there is a personal reward and there is a guild reward. Guild reward is just for your guild. You will get tier points. These are tier points, 260. So for example, you see here, our guild tier is gold 1 now. After we get 260, we will be promoted to diamond. Yeah, we will be promoted to diamond 1, I think. So we will be in diamond 1 and we will get these rewards. There will be weekly rewards and there will be season rewards. You will get this as a season, end of season, you will get these weekly. So always guild tier is very important. That's done with the guild part. Now personal part. Your personal rewards that you will get is you will get this at the end of each clash domain. So now this one ends in almost 12 days. The rewards you will get depends on 2 things. What is your guild rank in this room? So you can see ours is number 1. Ours is number 1, and I have a personal rank inside the guild. My rank is 3, and I'm getting a reward. I'm in the reward bracket of this one, so I'll get this one. If I was number 1, I would be getting this reward. This is a cool avatar, but it's only for 2 weeks, so it doesn't really matter. There is no difference between these 2 rewards. The third bracket is a bit less than the other 2, but I don't think it matters too much. Anyways, that's done with the rewards. Chat, just take you to the guild chat. The log, I already showed you guys. There will be the personal contribution, so you can move around between rounds. So far we had only 3 rounds. So you can see in round 1, I have activated a blessing and I have participated. I get 1 point here and I did all this. You get what you did, okay, your contribution. Then you get a personal report. This is if you took part in battles, you can view them here. This is the guild records. You can see the entire guild. So for example, in round 1, we got 3 grids. This +3 means you got 3 grids and you got 400 more points. And who actually took part in battle is this guy, and this guy. They won 3 wins. They had 3 wins. So you can move to round 2 and you can see things change. We got 5 more grids and we got 2200 more points, and this again. Okay, so this is all for the log. Very, very useful, especially for managers, for this one, to know who can actually who took part in the battles, you know. And then the next one is dispatch all. This is pretty self-explanatory. If you click this, all your 6 teams will automatically go into those grids that are available. The next one is blessing. This is where you activate a blessing. So you can see here that this guild has activated the Avengers. We have Dooms activated. We have Valianters, and also Ninth Circle has activated Valianters. Chaotic has activated Glorians, and us as well. Mystifiers, no. Delirium. We have again activated another Ethereal. So you can activate. Blessings are very, very useful. So we'll be talking about a bit more about blessing in the end. But that's the introduction for now. And you can also see the records who activated for Dooms, who activated others. You know, that's all cool. Quest is just like the activity normal. You complete tasks, you get reward, you get points, and then you get rewards. This is edit teams. You can edit your teams. Now here are a couple of things. You can see that this one shows where this team is located on the map. So I send this team to 11:30. If you click this, it will take you to the location. If you want this one, it will bring back your team from the grid into the base. This shows your power, and this is auto mode. If I turn off the auto mode, a guild leader or a manager will not be able to, tweak around with my team. So they cannot edit my team, but they can move it around. So if I turn off the auto mode, they will probably not be able to do it. You can also edit your lineup. You can click and you can go manage your 6 teams. That's all for that one. Manage. This button is only available. Yep. Okay. So the manage button. This button is only available to general, captains, and leaders. So what they can do is move around stuff. So for example, you can see, for example, this team from this person is at this location. This has this power, and this team is on auto mode. If it was not on auto mode, you can see something like this. This button, if you click it, it will send a notification to this person to make your team automatic, auto mode, and all that. It will show you the location. It will also show you, so you can see that this guy's team is nowhere. So this person has this is sent to this location, but this one is not. And there's a guild position, so you can make announcement if you are a manager, but that's only for managers. Now that is done with the second part of the video. We're already 20 minutes in. Let's move on to the third one. Now the third one is, that was the first 2 parts was just the basics of the game. If you will probably know it if you have read the stuffs and a little bit about here. The third one is going to be a bit about confusions. So about movement. How can you move? Can you go and occupy this one? No, you cannot. The movement is basically how it works in Labyrinth. You can only go to an adjacent one, but once you view that in the adjacent one, once it is revealed, you can actually go and fight or capture it or occupy it. You cannot go here. So you can only move by 1 tile per round. So in this round, we have to take all these 3 so that we can access these 3 in the next round. Okay, so that's for the movement. And once you do occupy all of this, so you can see we have occupied all of this, I can send my team anywhere on any of this grid. It doesn't have to be an adjacent one. I can send anywhere. I can send it here to defend this team. I already have 3 computer defenders, but if I send some more defenders, they can just go there and that's it. It doesn't have to be adjacent to anywhere. Okay, that was done for the movement. Now the other one is how battling works. The battling. So the battling is very, very important, especially for the points. Okay, these points that you get, these personal contribution points, We will talk about them, how you get them, but first of we will talk about how the battling works. Now, first of all, if for example you can see here there are 5 teams we have here. When the settlement begins, the first team that will be fighting the defenders will be this guy's team, this team. Okay, so this team will go against this team. If I will just call Silt. If Silt's team win, then he will face this guy with the same team, then this guy with the same team, and then if he wins all 3 of them, then the next one he will not face, because it's the rule in the battle, a player team can only win at most 3 times. Okay, if he won all these 3 of them, he cannot fight this one. Then what happens is this guy's teams, Glass teams, goes and fight the 4th team, and then 1, 2, 3. If he wins all these 3, then we have another 2. So the 3rd person in the list will go and fight those other 2 teams. Now that is how it works. For each battle, you are going to get 5 points. So for example, if this guy did 3 battles, he will get 15 points. 5 points per battle. That's it. I can also send this guy's team back to the base, because I'm a manager, and I can also move it around. So you can see, I can, maybe if I want, I can put this guy at the top if I want. Okay, and that's pretty much it. The one that is at the top most, this one will face the enemy first. And very, very important rule to remember is that with one team you can only win at most 3 times. If you lose, it just goes out of the list, but if you win, you can only win 3 times. So if there are, as I said before, like if it is 8 defenders, so you need at least 3 good teams to beat this level or to occupy this outpost or camp. Okay, and again goes here. So if there are 25 teams, 25 defenders here, we need at least 9 teams, I guess. We need at least 9 teams to occupy this one. So you cannot have less than 9, but you can always send more to them just to be sure. You always want to capture this. If you don't capture this, then you have to occupy it in the next round, which is pretty tedious and time consuming. Now that's for the battling. Never forget, 3 wins at most. That is the maximum. The blessings. Now I said we will be talking about blessing again. Now as you can see, for example, here there are 6 slots. 6 slots. I thought when I activated one of them, I thought I can activate another one and I will get another slot, but that's not how it is now that I have tried it, because once you activate another one, it will just become a 2 here. It means that you have activated 2 blessings for this synergy. These 6 slots are 1 for each guild. Okay, now you will probably be wondering, so what's the point of activating 2? Because the effects do not stack. So you can see, if I only have 1 blessing, I will get 100% more points, so which is 300 per round for now. This is what we are getting. If I have activated 2, then it does not increase, it does not stack. So what's the point? Well, it can still be beneficial by increasing your blessing level. Here's your blessing level. It starts with level 0. If you activate 5 blessings, so we have 5, 1, 2, 3 here, and then 2 in the dooms, we have 5, so we are level 1. What it does, it increases the grid's point by 2%. So for example, if I go into this one, this is 100, this will become 102. So any guild, any grid that our guild occupies, its grid point is going to increase by 2%. I don't know why it's not showing right now here. Probably it will be fixed in the next round or something, but that's how that's what it means. And if you go even higher, you activate 10 blessings, what it does, all occupied grids yield 4% more guild grid points during settlement round. So it happens, like it's saying during settlement, so maybe that's why it is not showing the 2% increase. But that's it with the blessing. So those are some confusions that I faced myself, myself, and I have figured out the answer here. If you are confused about anything else, you can put it down in the comment, and I will try to think about it. Maybe if I know it already, I can answer it. If not, I can talk to people and then figure out what's the answer to it. Anyways, now the main part to the whole thing is how to gain the points. There are 2 points. There's one grid point that will be collected for your whole guild. It will determine what the ranking of your guild is. If you go into the ranking at the top, there is guild rank. You can see how many tier points you will get on the left if you become level 1, and this is just the grids that you occupy. This is 17 grids you have occupied, and this is your grid points. So we have the highest points, 5900, and we are number 1. So if you count all these grids, there will probably 14 here, and it's saying 17 because our guild is actually occupying 3 grids, so it becomes 17 grids. Now the next thing, a couple of ways to increase your grid points is just to activate the blessing, activate more of them to get the blessing level higher, and actually going for or prioritizing these buildings instead of free grids, so you can probably move around and see what is happening and strategize. I'm trying to not give any suggestions or recommendations because I'm still I still don't know. I have a strategy in mind, but I don't know if it's going to work, so I have to test things and play through this Clash domain at least one time to come up with any tips or guides or suggestions or recommendations or anything. So yeah, just you can get more points from buildings instead of empty grids or anything like that. So always try stuff out. It's okay if you fail or if you don't get the number 1 rank. It's fine. The next round you will become better because you will have more knowledge, you have more strategy. So just focus on it. Okay, now the next one is probably what people individually can control is the grid, is their own contribution points. So you can see like the top 3 has 73 points, 63 points, 48 points. So if you click here, you don't know how many. Is saying you can get the personal contribution from team participation in settlement. It's saying in settlement round, but I think it's supposed to say action round. But not that it matters. It's just what it means is you need to participate, okay, with your teams. Second way, team participation in battles, and third is blessing. So now, how much of points you get from all each of these? Now, first of all, blessing. If you activate a blessing, you need 2 things. You can activate a blessing by 2 things. One is the season 1 blessing stone. If you have this, there are a couple ways you can get this. It's saying Clash Domain Quest, Clash Domain Idle Rewards, and events. I don't know what particular event is it going to be, but I know about these 2. So Clash Domain Quest, if you go in the quest, if you get 240 points, you get one of these, first of all. The second one that it was talking about is from Idle Rewards. So you can see if you click these Idle Rewards, you don't get anything here. But what you do get those green stones, blessing stones, if you take part in battle. So for example, in here, this person is going to take part in a battle in this round, so he will be getting one of those blessing stones, and he can use this to activate a blessing. What this does is going to give him 20 points. Okay, so activating a blessing will give you 20 points. Now the blue ones, you are probably wondering where you get from. It is saying events, but I got 3 of them when I purchased something with real money. It was a limited time offer in here, so I bought it. It was not very expensive, but I bought it. I don't know where else you can get it from. I haven't seen any events as of now where you can get them. The next one. Okay, so you got this. Now the next one is team participation. If you send all 6 of your team to any of these points, you get 1 point for each team you have sent. So if I send 4 teams, I will only get 4 points for just participation. You can also see these points here. So you see team 1 participating in grid action. I got 1 point for this, 1 point for this. And here you can also see that my team 2 participated in grid, so I got 1 point, and then it also take part in a battle. So if I won it, I have won it, so I got 5 points, another 5 points, another 5 points. So my team 2 only took part, and this team has won 3 battles, so it cannot take part in another battle. So that was it for it. It got 15 points here, and then I sent 4 more teams and I got 1 participation points for them. That's the points. So you get 3 ways. The activating a blessing, you get 20 points. Participating or just sending your teams to a grid is just 1 point. And if your team take part in a battle and win it, you will get 5 points for them. Okay. Now it is very hard for you. So for example, if you what you can control is the blessing. You can just go and activate them if you have the stones, and you get 20 points. Team participation is also under your control. You can just send all your teams, just send dispatch all, and it will just send them, and you get 6 points at the end. Now the battling is a bit trickier because you need to be in the at the top. For example, for this empty grid, the person who is at the top will be the one who will be taking out all these 3. Okay, so it's very easy. Now the other teams are just there for participation. These teams will only get 1 point for participation. They will not get any points for battling. So if you want to battle, you need to talk to your guild leader or captain or whoever manages your guild. Okay, so just go and talk to them and tell them, I want to participate in a battle. Please, can you put me on any one of them? And they will probably do it if they are a good person. If they don't, then you should probably leave that guild. What else? I'm just trying to remember if I have missed anything. Now, there are certain things in this quest that I'm not sure right now if you can still get this 400 points without some of these quests, because some of these quests actually want you to go in battle. So if you have if your team is like, your leader is not giving you any battle opportunities, you won't be able to complete those tasks to get points. So for example, you can complete this one yourself. You can do this one: join a battle against defenders or shadow tribe 5 times. So this is I showed you I have taken part into 3 battles, so this is 3 out of 5. You cannot do this, even though if you do secure the first spot in the guild, just as soon as the round starts, you can just send your team at the first, and they will occupy the first spot, and you will find the defenders. But what happens is the managers or the guild leaders, they can actually change your position like this, like I'm doing it here. You see? So you can actually change your position so you won't take part in battle. I hope your leader is a good one, so they will give you battle opportunities. But if not, you will probably struggle for this one. For this one is all for the guild, so it doesn't matter. Win against 8 defenders. Now this one is, again, you need a battle opportunity. Join 5-player battles. This one is actually going against enemy. So these ones you are facing here, these are not players. These are just AI, computer teams. It's very easy, not too hard to beat. But those ones are really easy. That quest actually wants you to go against actual player. So that will probably come after this layer opens. So once this layer opens, once this fortress opens, you can actually go and fight for this fortress against this guild that is also going to go here, or they can choose to go this way. They have 2 paths, again, this is very tricky. So again, there is this guild, it can take this one, and they can probably go here, or they can go here, or they can go for both if they want. It's up to them. but it's the first opportunity to face actual player team. Before that, you kind of are in against the AIs. Okay, after that, it will get even more interesting because this whole area, this will open and players can move around very easily. So another guild can probably come. So if you have this one uh, in your guild, if you occupy this one, another guild can come and attack this one, and then you, if you send defenders in that one, you can also again go and face those players and complete these tasks. But I don't think yeah, so these are all tasks, but they actually doubles. So for example, it says personal contribution reaches 110. This was not 110. This was, I think it started at 50 and then it becomes 70 and then it become 90 or something and then 110. So I don't know, it's just increasing, you know, it has some pages. So you finish this one and then there will be another task similar to this. So the next one will probably ask you personal contribution which is 150, so you get more points. So I don't know if, even if you don't worry about these ones that are not under your control, you can probably still get to 400 points and get 3 oracle coins. But I have to see that, you know, I'm not sure about this one. So that is probably it for this whole thing. Now that was probably everything that I knew about the Clash domain. Okay, except for the grid points that I explained how to get the grid points and all this, and personal contribution points. Except them, everything else that I have spoke about is also mentioned in the document that I will share the link with you guys in the description. So if you want, if you like just reading, just go over there and then read over through it. I will probably add the contribution and everything else about that I spoke about in that later. Right now I'm just too sleepy. Yep, that's probably it. Probably that's it. Yeah. Once again, don't forget to, you know, I'm not gonna say subscribe or anything. It's up to you if you wanna subscribe. But if you want to join the giveaways or anything, there is not much of requirement, to be honest, at the moment. So you can just join our Discord and just come in, and then you will automatically be in the giveaway once we start the giveaway. Okay, so see you guys in the next video. I don't know what the next video is going to be about, but yep, see you in the next one.